Bitcoin halving and the strength of the US dollar. If we look at what is happening with the process of halving of Bitcoin, we need to understand that this time is relatively different to previous others. The process of reducing the ability to increase supply of Bitcoin for miners is an essential factor to keep Bitcoin as a relatively strong reserve of value, unit of measure, and method of payment element, because it is a startup currency and its strength relies on having a limited supply. So the increase in the number of miners needs for Bitcoin at the same time to limit the increase in money supply. Think about it this way. It is as if a government, instead of diluting the purchasing power of citizens, their savings, and their real wages, decided to strengthen the purchasing power of the currency instead of destroying it. That is very unlikely, isn't it? Absolutely. And that process of halving is important because it's different from others. Right now, Bitcoin is closer to being an asset of its own. It's closer to separating itself from all other cryptocurrencies and becoming real money in the sense of being a reserve of value, unit of measure, and a method of payment of generalized use. And this halving comes in a much stronger position than the previous ones. Therefore, the volatility created in other halving processes may be less severe, but we have to look at it. Now, we need to understand in this process, why is the dollar strengthening? Well, the dollar is not strengthening. The dollar is losing purchasing power because of persistent inflation. What is happening is that the dollar is weakening in terms of itself and its own purchasing power, but it's strengthening relative to other currencies, other fiat currencies with which it trades. How can this happen when central banks are telling us that they have a hawkish view, that they might not cut rates as much as was expected, etc.? Because central banks are not being hawkish. Furthermore, what we can see is that money supply is coming back, and more importantly, that governments are spending like drunken sailors. Therefore, the market is looking ahead and seeing that it doesn't matter, because the level of deficit spending is so huge that governments will ultimately monetize and destroy the purchasing power of their currency. That's why the dollar is strengthening. That's why gold is strengthening. That's why Bitcoin remains strong in an environment in which usually two of those assets are decorrelated from each other. No? So we need to at least understand that what the market is discounting is monetary destruction, and that is likely to accelerate.